Hey guys, how's it going? Another quick update here. It's feeding time. All is good in the house. We still have 2 clowns and then the last 4 the beetles remaining of the chromes, and everybody's happy. We still have our snail, which is, I don't know exactly where he is right now. I can't find him. I know he's in there. He always is. So yeah, so basically what I want to do this video this is excuse me, this is for really for anybody who's interested, plus specifically more for my family also, because they are going to be having to feed, or I have friends that are going to be coming and having to feed the fish. And so just kind of a, here's what to do, here's how I'd like you to do it, and different ways and things. You can tell it's feeding time because if I take my hand and say, alright, let's go up, there they all are. Yeah, they're all right here. So, and they're all, even the clowns are down below watching. You want to wait a minute? What's he doing? No, now they come up. So, I've got myself a little step stool, and oh, I wanted to show another quick thing. As promised at one time, I have a light. It is so good. It is so good to have a light. So now you can see everything under here now. Helps for inspection, helps for everything under the sun. It's worth every penny. Skimmer's still rocking it. I'm still going a little bit wet, really, because if I do try to go too dry, because of the bio load's so small right now anyways, the skim, like the bubbles, they don't stay down. Which even still, I'm probably going to tune it back just a little bit here. But, maybe. So, it's about time to clean it again, I can tell you, because right here, it seems like every single time I'm doing this, that, yeah, I need to, that's one thing I'm going to have to check into. I might have to call BRS about this, because it's like the seal in here, whenever it breaks, it didn't break, it hasn't broken, but it's like it wears down over time, so you have to clean it, because, I mean, water's coming out the joint there. The problem is it doesn't do that all the time. It only happens whenever I'm taking videos. So I need to either take videos less often, or, which is not the right answer, I don't want to do that, or I have to, yeah, that's bizarre. So I'm going to have to take that out and figure it out. But you can see a nice darkness happening there. I am keeping it a little bit wetter than I normally would, just solely because I want to ensure that I'm getting what little bit there is in there out. So, and then, yeah, I've got a little bitty tumbling Kato, which is cool. I feel like it's shrinking because I'm betting a lot of it's going through. I'm going to put a block of biopure, like marine biopure, back here to make sure it doesn't all come apart and go away. Because I guarantee it's stuck. Yeah, I can see it's stuck back there. So I'll address that here within the next week or two. But everything, I'm really happy with it. It's good. So let's get on to the feeding aspect here. Turn this off for now. And I still have to get my actual refugium light. Like I've been turning that light on. Excuse me. I've been turning that light on for helping the pH stabilize overnight and stuff. I'm kind of resting around 8.1, 8.05, which is good. So what I've done here, got little storage boxes I'm going to set over here, and there's just different foods. So they don't care for this right now, the cobalt stuff. I think it's just a little bit too big and hard, that they just don't prefer it. What I'm going to do is get a grinder and grind it up, and I think that they'll take it then. So they eat the flakes, which is awesome. They love the freeze-dried worms, or BioPure, and then I also have some frozen stuff. So I think we're just going to do the flakes this morning. Really simple. And I will show you the frozen food tonight, because what I'm trying to do here is get them used to eating anything that I put in there. So that's what I'm really trying. Well, I can't get the dumb cap off. Yeah. Okay. So. Alright. You literally just take a pinch, a small pinch. Alright, and then what I'm doing is I want to break them up into as small of pieces as I possibly can. Now, that was too little. I'm going to grab a little bit more. And again, breaking them up into pretty small pieces. And you can see they're loving it. So, the flakes are good, which is funny because a lot of people I see, they have issues with a lot of flaked food in marine tanks. But and this guy, he literally gets what he wants and then he goes away. He's happy and he'll come back every once in a while for a little bit more. This guy will grab anything that comes down into the water column. Within about 90 seconds or so, the food should stop swirling around up here and the top should be clear because all the extra has fallen off into the back. So that's kind of the gist and how we want it done. I'll cut here in just a minute to show the frozen food and the frozen preparation, just to show how I do that. Because flake food's kind of boring to watch, so I didn't even think that this morning was the time. But it's good to kind of have all three, and I'll show what I do with all three of them. So the flake food, the freeze dried, and the frozen, I'll kind of show what I do with all three of them. And then what I'm really interested in, though, and what I want to get to is I want to get to making my own food at some point or another. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes up. So anyways, yeah, next up will be the frozen food. Okay, it is dinner time. And dinner time for everybody, even. Yosh is hanging out, and the fish are schooling, and they're alert. They are aware something is happening. We're all close to the top. Is there anything there yet? No, no. Unfortunate. So tonight, what we're going to do is the frozen food. And this frozen food, I did get this from, I think it was Petco. I believe it was Petco. Sorry, I'll stand here. I guess I could look at the bag. Yeah, Petco. But pretty simple. I mean, it's just mysis shrimp is one. Pretty much every fish will eat mysis, which is great. And then I also, just for, again, I'm wanting to broaden the palate. I have a saltwater multi-pack, which does, it has marine cuisine, emerald entree, brine shrimp, and then also plankton. I will say the plankton, I know that my fish are not too interested in that, so let's see if I can get this on the light here. So the plankton, I believe, is this pinkish one. The marine cuisine is going to be the, I think the second one there. Emerald entree, again, I'm assuming just because it's green, is this top. And then the omega brine shrimp, I believe, is the third. This one right here. So today we're going to do one of the green ones. Here's kind of how I do this. I set this right here. Take my stand, and they know something is happening. Open my lid, my hood, which I love my little pistons. They make my hood sit up for me all by itself. I love that still. I take my little solo cup, just grab a little bit of water, not too much, just a little bit. Now, yeah, I take my, I said I was going to do the green one, right? This out here, and see I've already kind of done the other ones. My fish do not care for this one so much, but I put it in anyways. Again, the idea here is to practice getting them to eat other and random things. So I just kind of break one side to make it obvious which one, and then, this might not be easy to do with one hand. Oh, what too bad. Just plop it in there. Woohoo. Piece of cake. So, put this back into the freezer. And that'll work. Okay. So now, with this, because it's frozen, you want to try to swirl it around and thaw it out. You don't want a lot of a big chunk, if you will. Or just swirl it around. Now, if this one, it looks like this one might be a little bit pesky, where it's wanting to stay clumped together. You can kind of see it starting to break out a little bit, like break up, and the water's obviously turning green from some of the stuff. There's a lot of floatings. But what we want to do, and I use my little acrylic rod for this, is kind of hit it too with my acrylic rod, and that really helps to break it up. And it also helps stir it a little bit. Kind of awkward to do when you can see it and it's in the shadow, but yeah, alright. Okay, so you'll be able to see here, I think I can hold it up, the light. It's pretty broken up. There's still a chunk in there, but I'm going to actually dump some of the water and then try to make sure that chunk doesn't actually go out. When the chunk if the chunk falls out, I try to pull it back in, but usually I can get it to where I'm not letting the chunk fall, and you just simply just take the water and pour it in. Now I'm going to scoop a little bit more water out. It's that temperature. Keep working that chunk down to nothing. And the fish, you can see, are going crazy and loving it all, which is good. Stir this up a little bit more. Get that chunk out. Work it down. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's all gone. Rinse this off. And dump it all in. Clean my cup out as best as possible. Cup's up. Cup's closed. And watch the fish enjoy it. So, where'd my little guy go? Where'd my little clown? I don't know where my little clown. Oh, there he is, right here. Look at him. He's got a. He had a honking huge piece in his mouth, and he didn't. But he couldn't eat it. So you want to make sure that. Oh, got it. Spit it out though. Just want to make sure that everybody's getting a little bit of food, and so we're watching just to make sure that that's what's happening. And they'll gum at this. He's gumming at it. He really wants to eat that thing. It might just be a little bit too big for him, so he's hanging on to it though. This guy, the clowns are more picky than any of the rest of them for me, but he's at least grabbing a couple things. He got a big piece right there. So this guy's still working on that little piece, but obviously the big fish don't have a problem with it. Apparently there's a little piece of plastic or something in it. That's good. Hopefully that gets over to the overflow pretty quickly and not sunk down into the sand bed. And I do my best to try to watch for that kind of stuff whenever I'm mixing it up. It's hard to do whenever I'm behind a camera, but you know, they're pretty good about not having that kind of stuff in there. So you can see, look, there's a feast for Yoshi once he gets down here on the sand bed.
I'm doing my best just to let it grow and let it be, because I only have one turbos now, but he has to have food too, so that I'm not going to, yeah, it's bizarre. I really do. I think that's a little piece of plastic in there. I'm not too thrilled about that. But so that's it. That's it for the frozen foods. Same process, same concept happens for all of the other frozen foods. So that's what I do. Piece of cake for me. Awesome. Thanks for checking in. You can see everybody's happy. I'll back out and get a full shot. I'm looking at getting new lights to have the full thing open and looking good. And then I also want to get my clowns and anemone pretty soon here. So, all right, you guys have a great weekend, evening, day, whatever it is for you. Awesome. Have a good one. Talk to you next time.